Hello guys and welcome to our third webinar in ICX. Today we're going to be talking about sales process. This one is, to be honest, my favorite so far because I am very excited about sales and I hope you also will. We will be doing a lot of sales in your term, but first of all we need to get a bit of an understanding of how this process is run both for iGE and for iGV, and how we can make it in the most best efficient way is, of course, throughout standard operating procedures. Just a short intro so you understand. Standard operating procedures in any organization, the way and concrete instructions for people to do certain things. For example, you know that McDonald's exists all over the world in different countries, but still McDonald's has SOPs, which means that even though different ingredients are used for the preparation of burgers, still they are made with the same recipe, or there are certain standards for McDonald's design or interior of the place, and that's how SOPs are functioning. They pretty much help to align organization which exists all over the world and make sure that every person in every corner receives the same value and the same experience. So we say, for example, that person who goes on outgoing global volunteer exchange from Austria is getting the same experience as person who is going on iGV from Turkey. That's how we drive this alignment throughout SOPs. And just recently we got new standard operating procedures released from ICX International, from the global level, and they are super cool. I honestly went through them and I saw every process which we will be implementing with you described here. So that's it for the intro. Tune in. We will go through each stage. Please pay attention. In the end, you will, as always, get your specific question to answer. So, how does the sales process look for iGE, first of all? Don't mind OGE here in the corner, please. This is the typo mistake. We will communicate it to creators of this presentation. But for now, the first step of every sales process is called pre-attraction. We already talked with you about our new customer flow, and you know that we have as the first stage attraction, right? Then consideration, preparation, experience, post-experience, but enough of that. Before we move into attraction, we actually have to prepare for that. And here are the activities which, in this case, you see should be covered by MC itself. So what will be the structure of me explaining you the process? First of all, this is a status of person on, in our case, partners opportunity platform, since we are talking about partners, right? And we are doing B2B sales, so sales for partners. Then we will cover the topic, so which topic activities are related to, who is responsible for implementation of those activities, and we will go in the more detailed explanation of each activity that should happen. First of all, before we go in the sales process, MC prepares legalities. What we do? We prepare legality induction for the LCs, and specifically we're working with the contract to make sure we analyze current product contract with the entity lawyer. We adjust in case the contract is outdated or in case any change in global compendium apply, and legislate the changes in case it's needed in a national legislation. For you to understand what is happening here right now for us, for ICX in Austria, we already updated our contract before the winter peak in iGE, and we are using already updated contract. Also, we are revising the payment method. We analyze current state of the payment method, adjust in case the current method is not good enough, and legislate the changes in case it's needed. The second step of preparation process is finances. So as MC team, we review our product pricing, right? We analyze product pricing according to sustainability standard and Global Finance Board report. We prepare updates on finance model with MCVP finances, and we legislate those changes if needed. What does it mean practically? You know that we have certain pricing for iGE as a project, which is 300 euro, and startups are paying 100 euro on approval and 200 euro on realization itself. So actually, we now think that this amount of money is quite not enough for the service we are providing. And for example, by gathering different data of external factors, of our internal judgment from the experience of working with those startups for already 2 years, we will see what will be the price for the summer peak. Another step in the preparation for the sales process, as you see here as well, our partner has no status yet because he is not registered on Partners Opportunity Platform yet. But here we talk about synergy with B2B marketing or digital experience. The first thing that should happen from the activities, and here you can see that already LCs are engaged on this stage, is market research. It is super crucial to have market, basically city, if we talk about Linz or Graz, or market, more specifically, if we talk about Vienna, Elsis. We have to understand this market very, very properly in order to do sales with this market. We create buyer persona, we validate buyer persona, we do the market segmentation, also based on opportunities, our IR cooperations, and then we follow the B2B SOPs for the detailed process. So what is this? You know that actually we were not doing that much in B2B marketing before. So B2B marketing is digital, especially digital B2B marketing, is us, for example, having a page about Empower Austria on LinkedIn and posting some information about the project, promoting it as much as possible, or also having the properly functioning website, which we do have, this is true, but we were not that active in, for example, social media and content publishing. So this will happen again from the LC11 in cooperation with LCs. Together with you guys, we will sit at TACO and decide how our B2B process will be functioning. How do we want to gain more partners, more opens, through actually promoting some content online, through adapting our website, creating better visuals, and so on and so forth. Then we will co-plan attraction strategy, again MC together with LC. What we should do here, we need to plan attraction strategy both for online and offline. So the very, very first step which will be there is establishment of goals. Of course, at TACO, you will have the space to plan your goals for the number of realizations and number of approvals, as well as opens. And opens would be your goals in terms of attraction, right? Because attraction ends on the stage when you already have opportunity open in the system. Then you will split responsibilities in the customer flow. So also for you to understand which processes should be happening on the stage of attraction, consideration, and later on in the process. We will create short-term campaigns, meaning that I will tell you right now about this idea. For example, as early bird open, why don't we just set a date for startups to sign up for Empower Austria project, let's say till middle of January, and those will be early bird opens, which will still be able to have all pricing, not without, but without newly revised pricing model, right? This is a very cool strategy, which will help us to push our partners more to open opportunities earlier and to do more sales early in the timeline. Of course, we will talk about the timeline, by when do we want to have our opportunities open in the system, and what should be done to make it happen. We will create synergy routines, meetings periodicity, dashboards, reporting, evaluation method, so for you to also understand, for example, me and Juju will decide how our synergy will work for B2B marketing and which support we would need from the LC side. And of course, we will be following B2B SOPs for detailed process, as B2B SOPs provide us with very, very detailed explanation of everything that can happen in B2B marketing, especially online. The next step is to define attraction budget and revenue of investment. The budget for marketing campaigns will be also decided with MC and with consultancy of LCs. We will see, guys, how much you are capable of investing in the B2B promotion on from the MC level. Sales preparation, what should happen on this stage? Here we need to make sure we are educating our members enough and we are educated ourselves to run the sales process, and we have all the necessary materials in place. Here we need to create sales pitch for the partners based on Blue Book value proposition and customer persona. We need to educate our network, so our team leaders, our team members, on how the sales process will happen, what is the pitch, and also we have to make sure that our sales timeline is aligned with our operational timeline. So for example, if we know that we need to have all the opens in the system by the end of February, we need to run sales, let's say, from the end of December until the end of second week of February, for example. And last 2 weeks of February are not already for you to approach new leads, but more to follow up on what you already have in the pipeline. The next processes which will happen still on pre-attraction. So here, preparation for sales is a quite long process, but we will make it happen together. Don't worry about it. So one thing that we will also be working with you on is product development. We will sit down and develop our NPS strategy. We will take a look at our NPS data over previous 3 peaks. Identify current state of customer loyalty, and see how we will be able to do it basically through the NPS data from the platform. We will also define action steps, how can we improve our NPS metrics, and based on the current state of NPS metrics, develop actionable plan to improve it. That will help us to have clear action steps to increase response rate and NPS itself. We will also talk about the product funnel. So how can we improve our product funnel? We will analyze current state of our product funnel and bottlenecks. Based on the funnel analysis results, we will create actionable plan to attack the bottlenecks. That's a bit aggressive, but it's true. And we will establish frequency of analysis and goals. Here also for you to keep in mind what is the product funnel. So it's pretty much all the steps through which stranger startup who doesn't know anything about Empower Austria yet goes to become open. In this case, if we're talking about attraction specifically. We will talk about partner standards. This is a very, very new thing. You know that we have exchange standards for our customers, but already for next summer peak, we will be having also standards for our partners, which makes a lot of sense and which makes me super, super excited because, guys, if we want to deliver a good, valuable experience to our partners, we need to have certain standards and we need to be sure of which action steps we are taking and which specific standards we are delivering for them to be satisfied with the experience. So as soon as we have them released again from ICX International, we will have to educate our network, so our team leaders and our team members, on how to deliver standards for partners and of course track implementation of those standards. And lastly, we have education on product management, which is solely LC responsibility, but if you need any advice on to how make it in the best way possible, of course you can approach me. So at this stage you have to ensure and implement national educational cycle for value proposition of iGE, customer flow and SOP, product and data management, partner standards, NPS, XPPs, attraction plan and LC role in the attraction plan, offline activities, sales education, and of course sub-products you are running for iGE. And finally, yay, when all those things are done, we are moving to the stage of attraction, and you can see that status of our partner has changed already. So now we call him visitor, and if partner decides to sign up on Partners Opportunity platform, he becomes sign up. The first topic we are covering here is basically attraction plan execution, the meat, the center and the focus of this overall process. And it contains B2B online strategy implementation, which will be run pretty much from the MC level, but we will for sure reach out to you for help. Don't hesitate about it. And we will be working more intensively this semester on B2B marketing to make sure we're using this channel as well for the attraction of partners. But your main focus will be B2B offline strategy implementation. So in this regard, you have to prepare all your product materials Basically, this is your proposal with which you will go to the meetings with companies, which you will send over email to explain what is Empower Austria about. And you need to also execute already cold calls and emailing. You know that like you will have pre-researched database of the startups you will be calling to, but in case they are not answering or you cannot reach through them throughout the call, you can always find the email and write a nice letter also offering them to take part in Empower Austria. Prospecting leads via email, contacting leads via calls. That's basically cold calling and emailing. Also, you will be attending a lot of network events. You have to know that, especially in Vienna, and also I would say in Graz and Linz as well, we have a lot of events for startups because network is very, very interconnected. And you have a chance to present yourself, present your product, network nicely. And before doing that, you have to make research on events in the city. So you know the dates in advance when, for example, Startup Spritzer is happening, which is one of the events. And you have to also inform your teams about it so they are prepared to dedicate time and go network at the event. That is why you plan attendance of events and basically execute your plan, which is going to event itself, networking with people, and getting contacts and business cards with which you can follow up later. In overall, events help you a lot to communicate in short time with many, many companies. As for one event, you can approach, I would say, 15, 20 people. You can talk to them about Empower Austria. And it's usually better than a cold call or email because you get person's attention. You have a live communication, you have dialogue, and you are more interesting to the person. So use those opportunities, don't miss them out. Research events that are happening in your city in advance and make sure that you have people available to go and you are going with your people yourself, showing a very, very good example. Then the next step here is customer, in this case, partner management, and how LCs are involved with MC together on activities on this stage. We are talking here about online lead management. You have to establish the channel for customer service. It can be intercom, Facebook, email. You have to determine instructions for customer service offline, determine people responsible at national level and instructions at the local level, create frequently asked questions and share to the local level, and establish response time, which is maximum 6 hours. So what is it all about? What is online lead management? For example, you had a cold call and the owner of the startup asks you to follow up and send an email with more information about Empower Austria. So the minimum amount of time you have to do so here is 6 hours, but it's better, of course, always. The maximum amount of time is 6 hours, of course, but it's better to do it right away. And this process is called simply in our network following up. Following up is the key to success because out of one meeting or out of one call, you will not necessarily get the result you want, but through consistent follow-ups, writing emails, writing messages on the established with you and the startup person responsible channels, you can get successful in your attraction strategy. That was it for attraction in iGE. Pretty much attraction stage ends up as soon as you see here, startup responsible person signs up on POP and creates opportunity, which you will later revise, approve, and so on and so forth. But for now, all you need to know that this process, pre-attraction, is super crucial, and this is the process we will be focusing with you on during December, before TACO and during TACO, to make sure we are prepared to go in the sales right after TACO. This is very important for us also to be early with sales in the timeline, because we have such thing as global timeline, which I will explain to you more in detail in the next videos. But for you to understand, the earlier you open opportunities, let's say January, beginning of February, the better applicants you will get and the more chances you will get to approve them all. That was it for attraction in iGE. Now let's take a look at attraction in iGV. Hi Anna, I know you are watching my videos and I'm super grateful. Let's make sure that we are covering this part as well. So what about attraction in iGV, attraction for partners? How is this different? You will see a lot of processes that look similar. For example, starting from the first one about legalities, preparation of legalities, and revision of contract and payment method. Again, reviewing of the product pricing. Those stages are the same as in iGE. They happen for iGV as well. So I will not focus that much on them. But then what we have here is EXPA preparation. So we need to set EXPA for operations, and this is responsibility of MC and LC as well. So first of all, from the LC level, you need to assign EP manager on the committee page for OGX operations. What we need to do from the MC as MC level, we are setting product fees. We set up our customer URL if we want to implement online payment. We add our national partners on the national partners sections. We add our country partners for each product, and we assign the city in our entity with LC we have in this city, or in case of Vienna, we're assigning Vienna Boku, for example, and we set our email flow for each product as well. Also, as you see, very similar to iGE, synergy with B2B marketing, digital experience is happening here. So the first stage would be, again, market research, understanding of the market of your city. For example, for iGV, understanding of what NGOs you have in the city, what schools are operating here. In case of Malsite specifically, which farms are available there for you to work with them during the sales process. You co-plan as well attraction strategy. So online and offline again, we need to establish goals for attraction. So how many opens would you like to have? Split responsibilities, create short-term campaigns, align timeline, create synergy routines. In terms of sales preparation itself, again, it's responsibility of MC and LC together. We need to prepare sales education and materials, create sales pitch for the partners based on the Blue Book value proposition of Global Volunteer, and you have to educate all your team leaders and team members on how to sell the product properly. As well, again, same story as in iGE, we have development of NPS strategy, so we have to revise how were our NPS results in the previous peaks and how can we improve them. And we also have to revise our product funnel, so the flow through which our partners are going. Then again, on the stage of pre-attraction, this topic is not unlike in iGE. We have project planning. What happens on the project planning flow stage together with MC and LC? We plan a project, aligning it to one of the sustainable development goals. First of all, we would do the market research for sustainable development goals, which means that we have to understand which SDGs are relevant for Austria and which working with which SDGs we will be able to make the most of the impact throughout our projects. We have to create projects based on the design for impact framework, which is another topic I will cover separately with LCVP ITV. And we have to plan our measurement of impact based on our use indicators. Don't worry about those complicated words. Pretty much measurement of impact is how many people have been developed throughout your project, how many people have been impacted throughout your project. And we need to plan project numerical goals. That's how it looks like. What I can say in this regard is that we have already quite some good projects planned together with design for impact, described very well for them. For example, this is Malsite Austria. We will also take additional look at global education, but we already have some materials we can take from the previous peaks and keep working with them, of course, revising them from time to time. Then what is super, super crucial and important before you go in the attraction is finance project planning. So here you can find planned project budget, planned revenue source and cost streams, planned product profitability. This is very crucial for iGV projects specifically because, as you know, we need to cover accommodation for EPs, not from the LC budget money, but through partnering with companies, through partnering with NGOs, through running global home, or finding additional funds and ways to sponsor accommodation and to make sure that our project is actually profitable and you can even invest in the development of the project in the future. The next very, very important part before you go in the attraction in iGV itself is education. You have to educate your members on SDG alignment. You have to let them know what are the global projects, what are ICQ's indicators, and how they can measure impact of their project. When your people have all this information in their heads, they will be more engaged and motivated to work with you together on the project. Next stage you have to educate your members on is product management. So you have to ensure and implement national education cycle for your members for those topics: value proposition, customer flow and SOP, product and data management, partner standards, NPS, XPPs, attraction plan, and LC role in the attraction plan, offline activities, sales education, and sub-products. On the stage of attraction itself, what happens here is pretty much the same as for iGE B2B online strategy implementation. Here you can use showcasing testimonials and different stories from EPs who have been previously taking part in your projects to attract partners virtually. You have to implement lead nurturing, so implement some set of basic emails your members will be using for nurturing of potential partners and prospects. B2B offline strategy implementation is working specifically with our presentation materials for better explanation of ICX and the project you are running, cold calls and emailing. Pretty much activities are the same as in iGE, but of course your target will be different. Not startups in this case, but let's say NGOs, schools, and companies or other institutions that you are considering as partners for your iGV project. Next thing here is already you see that our partner is becoming visitor on POP and he is even signing up. And here we need to make sure that we have proper lead management system in place. In case of online, it will be establishment of the channels through which we will be communicating with our partner. For example, you had a meeting with school and you need to make sure you follow up on that meeting. And of course, you identify the channels through which you will communicate. It can be either email, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever is comfortable for both of you. You have to determine instructions for customer servicing offline as well, determine people responsible at national level and give instructions to the local level, create frequently asked questions and share them with LCs, and establish response time, which is again here same as in iGE, 6 hours, because we have to be super fast and agile in order to maintain our potential leads. In case of online, you will of course conduct meetings with potential partner, set expectations, and discuss next steps. That would be it for attraction in iGV. Here again, it ends up with partner signing up on POP and becoming opening an opportunity. That's how the process is run ideally, and that's how we will be implementing the process for attraction both in iGE and iGV. If you watched till this moment, congratulations. That was a very long journey. I think this is one of the longest webinars we did right now for ICX education, but it's good because we covered everything that needs to be done throughout the process. What you should wait for in the nearest future, I will record one more video, not webinar, but video for you about the sales process, but this time with specific hints and little tricks which can be used by you in your sales process throughout all those action steps described here. Based on our experience, based on how we have been selling Empower Austria and iGV project already in Austria so far, which things work, which things you should not do in your sales process. So stay tuned. It will be published on Facebook page, and I'm pretty sure it will be very, very important for you to watch before going in this sales process. So thank you for watching, guys. As usual, here is my question for you to fill it in inside of the form. And question is the following: what are the stages of which topics are covered in pre-attraction for iGE, and which topics are covered in pre-attraction for iGV? That's it for today. Thanks a lot. I hope, as always, it was useful for you. Write your questions in comments and let me know if you need more information.